ngebhenki engalazi ukuthi livulwe nini.
Concerning a bank that I do not know as to when was it opened.
Ngoba le date ebhalwe la I date engayazi. Le mina angiyazi total le nto le ebhalwe la umhla ka 1 February 2007. Angazi ngibe ne account ngalelo langa lelo. Angazi ngibe nale account le Capitec emva ngoloko ngo 2007.
So you want to us to proceed with this statement wherein there's a 2007 date that I do not know about, because I did say that I did not have any account prior 2007. I was unemployed. So this 1st of February 2007, I know nothing about. I never had a Capitec account in 2007.
Well, Mr. Sibiya, you've already mentioned that you had a Capitec account.
Another day, another dollar of Baloyi tormenting us with these bank statements and cross-examination of Muzi Sibiya. Even my Lord's face says it all, okay? We are bored. We are tired. We are exhausted. We have gone to levels we haven't reached before. We haven't even got to October 26th, that is, of October 2014, the actual day that SENZO MEYIWA lost his life to Mguluguju's inside Pagati within Kelly Kumalo's mother's home. Baloyi, however, is focused on ATMs, withdrawals, Mbali, Nongoma, Mahlabatini, everywhere but the crime scene. And now, there goes Baloyi showing his ignorance yet again. Muzi Sibiya literally just said, I did not have a bank account at Capitec in 2007 because I was unemployed then. Baloyi's response, but you already told us you have a Capitec bank account. He never said, I don't have a Capitec bank account. He said in 2007, I did not have one because I was unemployed then. Wait, why are we in 2007? Somebody save us from Baloyi. At this point, can anything happen, please, in that courtroom? Because clearly my Lord is not going to move this conversation along anyway and bring it to the date that is of relevance. I mean, my Lord is sitting there holding onto his face for dear life because the boredom is written all over his face and the fact that he'd rather be somewhere else. Where? I'll leave that to your imagination. But I hate to do this to you, but let's continue listening on and see where Baloyi takes us.
Yebo ngina Capitec account kodwa angazi ngibe nayo ngomhla ka 1 February 2007.
Yes, I do have a Capitec account, but I did not have it on the 1st of February 2007.
Kusimple ukuthi makukhona izinto wrong eyivela so ngiyirize ukuthi wrong zizoba ngakanani ezinye izovela ngapha wrong.
I think it's important for me to raise issues like this. If I'm seeing something wrong on this document, to say it now here, because what more than on the bank statement?
Ngoba ngiyasho ibhenki engiqala ukuba nalo Standard Bank 2008.
Because I'm saying that the first bank account that I had was in 2008, which is Standard Bank.
Yes, it's fine, Mr. Sibiya. The fact of the matter is that you did have a bank account with Capitec. You say you did not open it on the day that is reflected here, but the fact of the matter is that you did have an account, and according to you, you placed Mbali in possession of the bank cards pertaining to this account. Is that correct? Yes. So.
Mr. Sibiya says, I never had a bank account that I opened with Capitec Bank in 2007, 1st of February. My very first bank was opened in 2008 when I got my first employment, and it was also with Standard Bank. So the information that is contained in this bank account, in this account that was opened at Capitec Bank in 1st of February 2007, I don't know anything about that. That simply means everything that is going to do with that account that was opened on that day, That has got nothing to do with Mr. Sibiya. If the state wants to proceed with proving that this was indeed his Capitec Bank, they need to come up with information that will also satisfy Mr. Sibiya in his understanding of the date in which he opened it. But it totally refutes this one, unless the state's proof beyond reasonable doubt that this was in fact his account. Thank you, Madam.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi.
Well, my lord, the fact of the matter is these bank statements were not disputed. That is the first thing. And secondly, Mr. Sibiya himself doesn't dispute that he held an account with Capitec. He says he gave a card that is linked to this account to his girlfriend. The only issue that he has, my lord, is about the date. And the date, my lord, it's, as far as we're concerned, it's neither here nor there, my lord. It's about the transactions that cover the period 1 January 2014 to 30 June 2015. That is what it's all about, my lord. The transactions themselves. As to when the account was open, we submit, my lord, that it's neither here nor there, my lord.
I am so glad Mnisi Wemvula objected, because that was also my concern. But what is even more concerning is Baloyi's response. He doesn't take anybody serious, does he? He says it doesn't really matter when this account was opened, as long as he admits he has a Capitec account. Baloyi. Sir, it's not like it was blank until he started being employed. You are actually reading transactions. Therefore, we, members of the public jury, together with Mnisi Wemvula, together with Muzi, have a huge problem with that bank statement. Where did you get it? One would be tempted to say, in the famous words of Advocate Tilani Joshua Ngomezulu, the late, may his soul continue to rest in peace, even though these days is being agitated by constantly being pulled forward by Baloyi, who constantly refers to Advocate Ngomezulu, who cannot come to defend himself. What a shame. I pause to shake my head. But inside Pagati, within this courtroom, Advocate George Baloyi is telling us it doesn't matter when the account was opened. Even if the date is incorrect, we're going to ignore that and continue business as usual. Where did you get the 121 dockets? Where did you get this statement, Advocate Baloyi? One really is tempted to think it was cooked. It feels like names were changed and then voila, it's his statement. But let's continue listening on. I can't wait. Maybe my Lord will have something of sense and substance and show his intelligence and 50 years experience in response to this nonsense that Baloyi just spewed. Here goes.
The date is very material, because that simply symbolizes or indicates the date on which Mr. Sibiya and the bank came into an agreement. This is a contractual agreement. So I don't understand when the state says the date is immaterial. The date becomes very material to symbolize the agreement that Mr. Sibiya and the bank had on the date on which Mr. Sibiya became Capitec Steint. Mr. Sibiya does not say, I can't remember the date on which I entered into this contractual agreement with Capitec. He says in 2007 specifically, I never had a contractual agreement with Capitec Bank. So the date here becomes very paramount, because it symbolizes the kind of a relationship, the date on which the relationship between him and the bank started. Thank you, Madam.
Yes, Mr.
Look, we don't want to rehash our arguments, but what Advocate Nis is saying is it has to be shown that there's a contractual agreement between Capitec and Mr. Sibiya, but Mr. Sibiya doesn't dispute that. He says there was an agreement between me and Capitec. I held an account. I had a card that was linked to that account. I gave it to my girlfriend, Mbali. The only thing at this point, my lord, it's about the transactions which cover the period 1 January 2014 and 30 June 2015, unless if the defense disputes now the transactions, that is something different. But once again, we'll then refer to the provisions of Section 236, as well as the admissions that were made. We went through Section 236. It simply says if anyone disputes the entries in the accounting records, then they have to make a request to the court for the accounting officer from that bank to come and give evidence, my lord. But Section 236 says it's prima facie proof of the entries that were made in the account, and we submit, my lord, that we are entitled to proceed on the basis of Section 236.
Yes, Mr. Mnisi, what do you want to do?
That is a misapplication, my lord.
Hello?
That's a misapplication.
What's that?
It's a misapplication
What's a misapplication?
of Section 236.
Let's read it again. Let's read it again so that we must go to school.
Certainly,
Let's
my
read it
lord.
again.
The heading is proof of entries in accounting records and documentation of banks. Section 236, subsection 1. The entries in the accounting records of a bank and any document which is in the possession of any bank and which refers to the said entries or to any business transaction of the bank shall, upon the mere production at criminal proceedings of a document purporting to be an affidavit made by any person who in that affidavit alleges A, that he is in the service of the bank in question, B, that such accounting records or document is or has been the ordinary records or document of such a bank, C, that the said entries have been made in the usual and ordinary course of the business of such bank, or the said document has been compiled, printed, or obtained in the usual and ordinary course of the business of such a bank, and D, that such accounting records or document is in the custody or under the control of such bank, B, prima facie proof at such proceedings of the matters, transactions, and accounts recorded in such accounting records or document. This is our argument, my lord, that these entries constitute prima facie proof. There is an affidavit from the official of the bank that accompanies this entry making this certification. And then subsection 2, any entry in any accounting record referred to in subsection 1 or any document referred to in subsection 1 may be proved at criminal proceedings upon the mere production at such proceedings of a document purporting to be an affidavit.
Somebody take that book away.